I wanted to talk really quickly about the interview we had on Sundays with subscribers yesterday. We had on Ken Nielsen. He is the head of the Washington chapter of the Log Cabin Republicans, which, if you're not familiar, it's a group of gay Republicans. There's a national Log Cabin Republicans, and then most of the states have chapters. And the reason I want to have him on is there was something that happened at the RNC last week that really got no attention because obviously there was some big news going on. The RNC and the Republican Party decided to take language out of their official party platform that talks about supporting only traditional marriage, so marriage between a man and a woman. Now, they didn't replace that with saying they support same-sex marriage, but they took out the language about traditional marriage. And for members of the Log Cabin Republicans, that was something they'd been pushing for a long time, to have Republicans take a more modern position, so to speak, on marriage equality. So Ken joined us to talk about that change from his perspective. So let's talk about what happened at the RNC this week, because obviously there's a lot of other, the attempted assassination, Biden and what's going on with him. So I felt like this really went under the radar, but my understanding of what the Republican Party has done is they didn't explicitly say we support gay marriage. They just took out language that was supporting traditional marriage.
Correct.
So how significant do you see that as being?
I think it's pretty significant as we go on, from the RNC afterwards. I think because it's going to kind of sit and we can, as gay Republicans, Log Cabin, or conservative-minded people, you can use that as kind of like a marketing tool towards people who might be on the fence about Republicans. I mean, there's a lot to be on the fence for both parties, but, if someone's sort of a center-right independent, like you said you were once, you said you were to me a while back, that might be something that could swing them over to vote for the Republicans.
Yeah, and I would still consider myself a center-right independent, although I just last week said I'm going to vote for Donald Trump, and I've never voted for him before. But gay marriage has been an issue for me. All the social issues, I think, are things that have stopped me from just diving headfirst into the Republican Party. So when you say, now you can turn around, and if there's attacks from Democrats to say, they want to roll back, same-sex marriage protections, do you think that this is a convincing enough step? Because again, they just took the language out. They didn't add any affirming language in.
Correct.
Is it convincing enough to just say nothing, basically?
I think it is. I think it's also going to take time. It's something that's new that happens. You got to wrap yourself around it, thinking Republicans are not anti-gay marriage.
Yeah.
And that might take a while for some people to wrap their heads around, like it was when in 2015 when the court ruled on it. It's like it took a while for me to wrap my head around it. Yeah. So it might take other people time to wrap their head around it as well.
Yeah, interesting conversation. We also talked about the Washington governor's race. Dave Reichert was caught on tape saying, I think marriage is between a man and a woman. And I asked Ken how he felt about that, because he's clearly going to vote for Dave Reichert based on our conversation. And, I thought that the clarity in which he looks at issues like that was really, really great. So you can watch my full interview with Ken on Sundays with subscribers by becoming a subscriber, undividedpod.com, undividedpod.com.